Good afternoon, people of grace. I'm back on my back porch, Rev's Gym, on this white and snowy day. And I want to talk with you for a couple minutes about spirits and our identity. We've been kind of in the latter part of 1 John chapter 3 and the first part of 1 John chapter 4 in our Sunday worship times together. And so this Sunday, we're going to be taking a bit of a deeper dive into this idea of testing the spirits. And what does that mean, and how do we do that? And that's from 1 John chapter 4. So as a bit of a preview for that, I want to talk about this radical claim that John makes in 1 John chapter 4, verse 6, where he says, "We are from God. Whoever knows God listens to us. Whoever is not from God does not listen to us. By this we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error." That's a radical claim. And we need to wrestle with that radical claim, because does that apply to us? Can we just say that simply? If someone listens to us, they're from God, and if they don't, they're not from God? Personally, I think we need to temper that a little bit. We can be understood broadly as the whole community of the children of light, but I think in this passage, like what John is doing in 1 John chapter 1 when he introduces the letter, he's focusing on the we as those who are eyewitnesses. Our own eyes saw the word of life. We beheld him, we touched him, and we are writing this to you. He's talking about the apostles and that first generation of apostles and prophets and eyewitnesses to Christ, but especially the apostles. And this is not really about your theory of the Bible or inspiration. This is about history. And if Jesus is the Christ, if he is the Word made flesh, if he did fulfill all these prophecies, if he did walk among us, and he did do all of those things, then the apostles who were personally taught by him are historically, and really, if Jesus is who we believe he is, indisputably the most knowledgeable people about who God is and what he is like, because they were personally taught by him. We may say, as part of the greater community of the children of light, that we have the same spirit they did, and that's true. But we weren't personally taught by Jesus. We're not eyewitnesses. We are not, in that fullest sense of the term, completely directly sent by Jesus, where they saw him and he says, "You go into the world and make disciples. You are my ambassadors." We have an ambassador role. But we don't want to be arrogant and act like we're prophets or we're apostles in the truest sense of those terms. Rather, we are the heirs of an apostolic and prophetic ministry, passing down through the centuries from the original eyewitnesses. Jesus Christ is the chief cornerstone of everything we believe, and those who are eyewitnesses of him and personally taught by him, as Ephesians 2 says, are like a foundation resting on that cornerstone, but then also supporting the rest of the building of the church. There's a difference between the foundation and the rest of the building. The apostles and prophets are the foundation. Jesus is the chief cornerstone. That's a firm foundation for us, and we are included as a building built on that foundation, but we are not eyewitnesses. And therefore, we need to listen to those who saw the prophecies fulfilled and are bearing eyewitness testimony. But more than apologetic or theory, we need to bring it down to earth and keep it practical. And what it comes down to is what Psalm 119, verse 105 says: "Thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." In this crazy, mixed up world, with everything that's going on, and all the ideas and all the political theories and all the belief systems that are hitting us every day, and then all the desires that we face within ourselves, and what somebody feels within them is, I don't think we should just flippantly say that's their fault. Our desires are just our desires. But we have a foundation. We have a word. We have a revelation coming from heaven, the most transcendent place of truth, all the way down to the grime and context and subjectivity of our earth. The word becomes flesh. And that word gives us an ability to say, that's a good idea, that's a bad idea. This is a desire within me that I should encourage. This is another desire within me that I should resist if I really am a disciple of Jesus Christ. He is my teacher, and everything I know about him, I know from the apostles and that first generation of eyewitnesses. That's not a problem. That's historical evidence, and it's a firm foundation so that we have a lamp and a light in a dark world. We should be people of the Word, and that is what the church is meant to be. As Paul says in 1 Timothy 3, the church is the church or the community of the living God, a pillar and a buttress of the truth. Great indeed is the mystery of godliness. Don't shrink back from being the church. We're not apostles, we're not prophets, but we have an apostolic and a prophetic legacy. And it's a great honor to stand for it in a time when the spirit or the direction of things here in America, where we live, is maybe not trending the right way for the children of light and people of faith. Don't back down. Be strong, be courageous, be encouraged, stand on the firm foundation. God's word is a light to our feet and a lamp to our path. And that's an encouraging thought and a sure promise in darker times. Be at peace and be bold for Jesus. Have a great day.